I need everybody to make sure they put their side on mute. Right down, you should see something where you can mute, and you can also take video on and off. So like, here's my video. Hi, and then I'm gone. Boom. So you could feel free to take your video off if you want, if you have any streaming problems, because I'm in a place that has pretty low internet capability. So I do that to kind of get the speed up, and then make sure you hit mute. So let's get started. I see I have 6 participants on, and I wish there was a chat feature on this thing. I'm sure that there is somewhere. If you guys discover any chat function or anything like that, I need you to actually let me know, like send me a message or something. Let me see here. Nope, I don't see any. Oh, look, chat. Oh, okay, good. Here, I'm gonna do a chat message. Hello. If you have, oh, good, Jody just did it. Thanks. If you have a question while I am presenting, I'm learning this technology with you all, which is fun for me. And I say that not sarcastically. I'm actually love doing this. If you have a question while I'm presenting, please use this chat function to ask. I will also open it up to audio so that, oh good, Daniel, you're on. Perfect, excellent. So feel free to send me a little message right now saying that you're here. Discover the chat feature. This is a good thing for you to have when you're doing a WebEx meeting or a Zoom meeting, to have this, to use this chat feature. Okay, so here's a story. I want to go over this week, because this is your midterm.
Now, the area of a rectangle.
Uh-oh, someone needs to mute me. Mute, because I'm hearing the area of the rectangle, and that is so not my... Don't multitask all the way through this. Okay, so here we go. We're going to move to... there we are. Okay, so here we are. We are now in week 8, which is exciting. And we are coming into our midterm week. There are 2 things I want to do here. Is one, make sure that you're dialed in. A review of this week. You have the midterm review post. And I really want to talk to you about what makes a good behavioral change plan so you can get the full 20 points. If you're listening to this and you've already submitted your behavioral change plan, you have the ability to upload it again because you submitted it early. If you submitted it after Friday, then, you know, after this podcast, then hopefully you're listening to this podcast and getting the tips. But if you submitted it early, I gave you feedback and you could try again for the full 20 points. As we get close to the deadline, that won't be applicable as much. And then, let's see here, we've got our midterm exam. So let me just go over this behavioral change plan, because this is something that is probably new, and this is something for people. This is something that a health educator often does, nurses do, medical professionals do, and it's the idea of helping set a goal to really get people to change. Now, the big thing is I'd like this to be in a Word format, 1-page bullet points. I'm not looking for verbose. You know, you don't have to write a lot, but you need to follow this format. And so here's the situation. Josie has a stressful job. She's come to you. She's overwhelmed with panic attacks and feelings of dread. She's come to you to discuss how to address these issues. To cope with her stress, she's taken up an addictive habit. So she started maybe coping with alcohol or tobacco or food or some unhealthy behavior, binge watching Netflix until 3 a.m. in the morning. Hello, it could be anything. She also does not have a health care provider or any type of insurance. And this is a real problem because you want her to get a primary care health care provider. You can't address all of these issues. So I'm going to ask you that you focus in on what you think Josie can do. And so what you're going to do is hypothetically, you're going to choose one of the goals below. So if you think that Josie first needs to reduce her stress, then you would choose that goal. If you think she really needs to start kicking whatever addictive habit that you hypothetically have that she's doing, like let's say she's eating too much food or she's starting to do unhealthy habit, you could address that. Or if you think that's the most important thing for her is to get into a healthcare provider, then you would choose this. You would only select one goal. From there, and this is where I've noticed that people are missing the boat, and I hope, yeah, I'm recording good. This is really important. What people are not doing is they're just telling me, they're not telling me the details of the plan. So I want you to make sure that you choose a model, either health belief model, trans-theoretical model, or the social cognitive model. And what you need to do is you need to tell me what stage or where Josie is in this. So I'm going to tell you verbally each three of the, how you would do this for each one of these, okay? So for the health belief model, this is all about perceived susceptibility or perceived risk. So if you think Josie is not really understanding that her new Vicodin habit, that she's popping a Vicodin, and that she doesn't understand how this is really serious, perceived susceptibility and perceived seriousness, then you would use the health belief model. You would say, I'm going to work on getting Josie to understand that she cannot be taking a Vicodin to reduce her stress, or she cannot be taking Valium, that these are highly addictive, psychoactive drugs. And so you're just going to work on getting Josie to understand that. That's the health belief model. Okay, so if you want to do that, you would do the health belief model. It's getting people to think about their risk and how susceptible they are. So if you want to get Josie just to think, you would do the health belief model. If you want to get Josie to start moving into an action plan and actually start doing something, you would do the trans-theoretical model. And you might say, you know what? Josie's been pre-contemplating for over a year to join a meditation group or an exercise group or support group for, I don't know, for, you know, for people who are overwhelmed. I mean, who knows? I mean, there's a whole gamut of support groups out there. But she's been thinking about this, but she hasn't taken the steps to actually do this. So you would say, you know, on the trans-theoretical model, I want to get her from pre-contemplation to actually contemplation, where she's researching how to do meditation, how to use breath to reduce her stress, to get more present, to use mindfulness. And yes, that actually, there's so much research showing that can work. So you say, okay, I want to get her into doing something. That's a trans-theoretical model. Or maybe the last model you want to do is a social cognitive model. And this is all about creating an environment and a support network for Josie. So maybe you want to get Josie into walking with friends once a week, or joining Weight Watchers Anonymous. Is it Weight Watchers? It's not anonymous, but Weight Watchers. and getting her into that support system so that she could start to reduce the stress, but also start to replace her unhealthy habit with a healthy habit. And that's using social networking and environment to do this. So you would choose that model and give a plan. So you would choose which one, and you would say how you would use this model. And this would be 2 to 3 sentences right here. But I want to see that you understand what these models are and how you would use them. Then you'd come up with some realistic goals, like Josie, 3 bullets, you know. Josie's going to, I'm going to work with Josie to understand the addictive nature of Vicodin and Valium and her perceived risk. I'm going to start to get Josie into a primary care provider so that maybe she's self-treating for a mental health issue. you're going to get actual action steps. Like this, look at this as like your checklist to see if she's really done anything. You're going to look to see if these activities are done after 3 months. So I want you to come up with like 3 to 5 action items. These are like, are you really doing what you say you're doing? Are you really making movement and addressing these behavior issues? And then what you do is evaluation. That's the last thing. And this is where you might have her keep a journal of activities. You actually, with Weight Watchers, they're really good at measuring weight once a week. She'll come back to you and tell you, okay, I've done X, Y, and Z, but you need to like have an actionable plan that she can evaluate. This is like 1 page, and these are bullets for each one of these. So let's see, what questions do I have? I'm going to take you guys at this point now. I want to stop and I want to answer any questions that you might have. So take yourself off mute and raise your hand or just jump in there. Do you have any questions? Kelly, Candy, Jody? Who else do I have here? Daniel, do you have any questions? And if you want to, yes, go for it.
I had a question. For the different for the different stages, do we get to choose whichever one we want, or is there a very specific one for which plan we choose?
Well, that's a good question. So if you decide to do the trans-theoretical model, you're going to choose where Josie's at, hypothetically. You're going to say, okay, Josie's in contemplation mode, or Josie's right about to go into action mode. You're going to choose where you think she's at and having her land somewhere. And that's a really good question, because you can't really assess how someone's made progress if you don't know where they're at. So you had to hypothetically decide where Josie's at in her life.
Okay, got it.
Okay, cool. Good question. Any other questions? No? Totally got this plan? All right. So it's just a 1-page plan. And then you'll notice that there's a rubric right down here. So this is really important when it comes to grading. Always look at a teacher's rubric, right? So when I'm grading, I'm going to be looking here. Did you select a goal? So did you select one of the goals that I mentioned? And so you would only need to select one of the 3 goals. Did you identify the model and define and explain how you're using it? Just a few sentences. Don't just say the model. Say how you're going to use the model. Okay? Just a few sentences. And then did you give some realistic activities? Just a few, 3 or 4 realistic activities, and then how you're going to evaluate it. And then I'm going to grade against those 5 things. Those are the 1, 2, 3, 4 things. Then I'm going to look at. Okay? So I will use that to grade it. Okay, any other questions? If you have questions later, you can always Canvas message me or ask a question in the prompts, in the frequently asked questions, or even to this one right here. Okay, if not, I know that because there's a delay often with this. Do you have any questions? I'm moving on. Okay, here we go. Now, next. You should still see my screen. I wonder why, hold on a second. So you definitely are seeing my screen, right? Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, good. So the next big thing I want to show you is that your midterm is pretty straightforward. It's 50 questions, and it's not tricky. It's basically pulling from your quizzes. It's very straightforward. And so what I did was I just pulled up about 67 questions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, less than that, up to 7 questions. And I pulled it from all these different chapters. You have a total of 60 minutes. You get 2 attempts. and it will close for everyone on October 16th at midnight. So I'm giving you a little bit more time than usual, but that's the story there. So that's very straightforward, not anything new. Okay, so that's this. I'm going to be posting this video here later, so if you want to watch it later, it'll be posted here. And then on Sunday, I'll be talking about week 9, and I'll be going into your cumulative project. But I want to get you guys through the midterms right now. I just want to focus in on that. But know that there's more stuff to come. All right. Any questions out there? I'm going to write these names down because I'm going to give you extra credit for participating in this. Jody. And if you submitted this in, oh, let's see, who's this? I see your video. I wish I could, can I chat directly to you? Let's see here. Oh, Arcelia. I see Arcelia. I'm saying your name wrong. I know it. I'm just going to say hello.
Okay.
There we go. Let's check this out. I can send a message to you. Isn't that cool? Candy.
Oh, yeah.
And Kelly. And Daniel. Good job. And I think that's it. And then myself. All right, good. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people on this call. All right, if you have any questions, if not, just oh, good. Thank you. Okay, Kelly, I got your message. Jump in and just give me a I'm good to go on your chat, which makes you like you get a gold star for being a Zoom group participant. I don't know if you can get. I see Daniel and Arcelia. How do you say your name? Araceli? Did I say that right, Araceli?
Araceli. You said it right.
Araceli.
Araceli.
Okay, good. All right, well, thank you guys for participating in tonight. If you have any questions, please Canvas message me. I will be posting this recording later. Jump in and go for the full points. If you submitted already, you can resubmit and go for the full 20, okay? Otherwise, I look forward to seeing your behavioral change projects, and I will be doing a Zoom again next week to go over the cumulative project. So that's another good one to jump in on. All right, have a great evening, and thanks for joining the Zoom. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.